welcome to a slice of America. Because for 20 points in winter of Series 32, you can go ahead and grab yourself the Ford Mustang SVT Cobra.
Not to be confused with the Cobra we have in the game already.
This thing has a whopping 390 brake horsepower with 390 foot-pounds of torque while weighing 3,738 pounds, which makes this thing very, very hefty. It's got a 4.6 litre engine and it's also rear-wheel drive. In terms of comparison to the 2000 Shelby Cobra that we have in this game already, it looks pretty much the same, except the only difference really at the back is a slightly smaller wing, and I think this thing might be boosted as well. Let's go ahead and check real quick. Do we have anything? Yeah, we do have some boost, which is pretty cool indeed. Going to the inside, it does look pretty cool indeed. We've got a few dials, and that's honestly probably about it. But let's go ahead and take a listen to that 4.6 litre engine. So starting off, we've got ourselves the 6.2 litre V8, we've got a 6.7 litre V8 turbo diesel, we've got a 5.2 litre V8, an 8.4 litre V10, we've also got a 7.7 litre V12, we've also got ourselves a racing 7.2 litre V8, and a racing V6 twin turbo with actually a pretty decent amount of horsepower, and I've got a feeling that this thing might turn out to be quite a monster of a motor. Now, of course, we can go ahead and swap out that supercharger for some twin turbos, and I think we're probably not going to do that, to be honest. In terms of aero and appearance, we've got quite a fair few things. We've got the option to put the SALEEN Bodykit on this, which you know we're going to do. We've also got the option of a couple of Ford wings. That one's fairly okay, and the other one was to take off entirely. Okay, SALEEN, wow, what a wing. Right, going into the bonnet, we've got the SALEEN hood that we can put on that, and we've also got the SALEEN side skirts, as well as, I think, hopefully should be the SALEEN rear bumper as well. And look at how aggressive this car looks now. It looks incredible. So we're going to go ahead and make this a little bit of an A-class road build. I don't actually know if there's a tune waiting for us this week, so we're going to have to try and maybe make this one ourselves. And something that I find interesting is for this particular car, we can go ahead and also upgrade the rear tyre profile size. I'll assume that's probably for drag racing, so we'll do that in a little bit. So after a bout of upgrading, we're now sat at 2,890 pounds with 426 brake horsepower and just 1 PI away from being at the top of A800. Also, fun fact, this was recorded before the weekly guide that you saw before this video was uploaded.
Crazy, huh?
So now we go over to the paint shop. We've got ourselves nothing in advance, which is kind of becoming a trend with these cars now. We're going to manufacturer paints. We've got ourselves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different paints listing, including ketchup red and mustard yellow. And now we have to wait an age for it all to save. Hooray! So these are honestly a pretty cool looking car, and sadly I'm not American, so I can't say I've seen one of these, but I really wish I could. Now, fun fact about this thing is, in the year 2003, there were only 2,251 of these in black, 638 of these in red, 242 sat in silver, and 992 in a silver metallic, which is honestly kind of interesting. So they are rare, of course, for that year, but now, many, many years on, nearly 20 years later, these things are probably even rarer. And away we go! We are starting in 8th, we're up against a whole load of other cars. We've also got ourselves a daily challenge complete, which is pretty cool indeed. And we've got an aim to try and finish in first place. So far we're doing pretty good. It's not even the first real turn, and we've already got ourselves up into 4th. There we go, much, much better.
I've been away for a week, so apologies if I forget how to English.
But the one thing I won't forget is how much these things can cost. You can get them from anywhere from 23,000 up to 76,900 US dollar. Now, like usual, I'm not sure what that is in pound sterling, because I don't think we ever really had these in the UK, or at least we never even had them new, they're always imported. So hopefully that number should be up on the screen in pound sterling as well. Also, I find it interesting that the driver tile that we are following also has Mustang in the name, whilst we are driving a little bit of a Ford Mustang, so that's pretty cool. And now the Mustang is in front of the Mustang that's not driving a Mustang. Okay. Another fun fact about this thing is this 2003 specific year of Mustang was also apparently called the Terminator, so I've got to be very careful how I drive this thing, because if it starts asking for my clothes and motorcycle, then I'm going to be very, very concerned indeed. Still, 95% left to go. We've got, or rather, just not even 95% to go. We've still got just that bit in the finish line, which we actually did a pretty good job of getting to, despite the fact that I messed up words horribly, and we still finished in a first place with a time of 2 minutes 10. And here we are now back at the upgrade shop, so we're going to jump over to conversion. I'm going to go ahead and actually throw in, where is it, the Racing V6 Twin Turbo, which I might regret, but we're going to go ahead and make this thing all-wheel drive because it is time to turn this into a drag build. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and also find ourselves some drag tires, which should be just there. Perfect. And we're also going to go ahead and up the rear tire profile size as well, just in case it gives us a little bit of extra something. And with the addition of turbos, we're now at over 1,400 brake horsepower in this. Oh dear. So now we're at 2,929 pounds in weight, and we've got 1,460 brake horsepower. Oh, this thing is going to be terrifying. And now the fun thing is, I have to sit here and tune the entire car. This might take a while. And here we are now over at the back of the festival, so let's go ahead and get a little bit of a wheelie check. Do we have anything? Not really, which means it's either going to be really, really good, or it's about to be a real big disappointment. You know, I'm sure I've seen that Super 7 car before. Anyway, let's go ahead and get ourselves lined up, get on launch control, and away we go. Let's go ahead and find out what we get from this thing. Obviously, it is nearly 3,000 pounds in weight, which is very, very hefty, but we do have a stupid amount of power on our side, which means hopefully it should still be good. 213 through the camera, and off the end of the drag strip at 214, or thereabouts at least, which means this thing it's alright, but honestly, I feel like it could have been a little bit better.
It did, however, actually manage to stop in time before I finished the clip, which is certainly new.
Alrighty, now we're back at the upgrade shop. Now we're going to go ahead and throw on all the road going stuff again. We're going to go ahead and also change the rear tyre profile size back down a bit. And then, did we actually do the tyre with it? Yes, we did. Okay, I honestly, it's bad I couldn't remember. While we're here, we're also going to go ahead and put this thing back onto racing springs and dampers, and then hopefully I think that's all we had to do to this car. However, before we go any further, here is this week's Forzathon shop. We've got the Aston Martin Vulcan AMR Pro, we've got the Natural Leaf Desert Scarf, the black plaid or plaid joggers, which are interesting to say the least. We've got the TVR Severa Speed 12 and also the Hot Wheels Flame car horn, which sounds a bit like this. Spicy. We've also got ourselves the Horizon Super Wheelspin and the regular Horizon Wheelspin as well. And now, back out to the motorway. Or highway, whichever you prefer. Alrighty, here we are now over at the edge of the motorway. We've got nobody speeding past us at God knows how many miles an hour this time. Let's go ahead, get ourselves onto some launch control, and away we go to try and find this thing's top speed. Now, I'm hoping it's going to be pretty good. We did, of course, get 240 off the edge of the drag strip, so I'm hoping that this thing might get around 250 for top speed. But then again, it could surprise me and do even better, but we don't know unless we keep going. Or unless we drive. I don't know. Words aren't working in my favour today. But what is that speed zone with 265.24, which is absolutely astounding for this thing, which is honestly kind of incredible, I'm not going to lie. But now we've got ourselves a downhill and speed cameras to go, so let's go ahead, keep going, and find out what we're about to get. And the answer is 270.20 miles an hour, which is insane. Downhill 272, and no, 273 even for a split second. Don't drag me into the Horizon Arcade.
Horizon Arcade will begin soon.
No, I'm good, thanks. I'm just happy with hitting 273 out of a car from 2003. And also one that surprisingly has a really good set of brakes. Now, it's good at racing, drag racing, and has an immense top speed, but how good is it at drifting? Let's go ahead and find out. We'll throw this thing in here with a stupid amount of power and try and keep it as sideways as we possibly can. And out the other side at 44,592 points, which I think it genuinely actually nearly equals my best score I've ever gotten with another car, and that was the Nissan Sura.
Who'd have thought those two cars would be so close to each other?
Alrighty, here we go for round number 2. Gonna go ahead and throw this thing back in and try and see what we can get. Now, I doubt we'll be able to equal 44,000, but we'll get close, hopefully, of 39,133 going out of the edge of the drift zone, which isn't bad considering going back that way is honestly still pretty tricky at the best of times. So that is that video on the 2003 Mustang SVT Cobra, or Terminator, whichever you wish to call it. Personally, I prefer Terminator because it sounds a lot cooler, but it is only 20 points, and it probably will take you about half an hour to get, so it's really not too long at all, and it is worth every single minute. Honestly, this thing is a lot of fun, and of course you've got the SALEEN Bodykit as well to make it look even smarter. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I'll go ahead and see you all in the next one. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Thank you very much for watching. Tech out. See ya. Only thing left is, do I call this thing banana or mustard?